while Europe was still asleep, before Brussels opened its first email, before markets finished pricing their Monday fear. A meeting was already underway inside the Eisenhower Executive Office building. No cameras, no communiques. At the table sat Donald Trump, across from him, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, and the foreign ministers of Denmark and Greenland. The public agenda said Arctic security. The real demand was simpler: ownership. On Air Force One, Trump had already drawn the line. Anything short of U.S. control of Greenland is unacceptable. Not access, not partnership, control. And the markets reacted instantly. Oil futures spiked, defense stocks moved, mining valuations repriced, because beneath 2.17 million square kilometers of ice sit the world's second-largest reserves of rare earth oxides, neodymium, dysprosium, the metals inside F-35 jets and EV motors. What was being negotiated was not security. It was title. The land beneath the ice, the minerals beneath the land, and the leverage beneath the minerals. While European capitals were still issuing statements, a new ownership model was already being priced, and nobody is talking about what it actually means. This is not a dispute. It is an operating system. The same machine, the same code, the same sequence. Stage 1, isolation. Washington injects volatility into alliances. Security guarantees stop being fixed. They become variable. NATO's Article 5, once binary, protected or not, is now repriced as a floating instrument. European defense budgets spike. Procurement timelines compress. Fear becomes a budget line item. Stage 2, demonization. Not publicly, quietly. Greenland is reframed as a strategic vulnerability, a gap, a hole in the shield, a territory that must be secured, not respected. Stage 3, intervention, not with tanks, with clauses, with closed-door warnings, with executive unpredictability. When Washington refuses to rule out unilateral action, every ally recalculates their survival math. Stage 4, extraction, not oil, rare earth oxides, neodymium, dysprosium, terbium, mining corridors, 99-year access frameworks, security premiums paid by Europe, not because the mines are profitable, but because the pressure is. Stage 4 complete, pattern verified. The machine learned this move in the desert. In 2003, Baghdad was framed as a security risk, a weapons threat, a destabilizer. Sanctions strangled payment rails. Shipping insurance vanished. Iraq's oil exports collapsed. Stage 1 complete. Then came the intervention. 21 days. Baghdad fell. The oil ministry was guarded. Everything else burned. Stage 3 complete. Then the contracts arrived. ExxonMobil, Chevron, BP, Halliburton. Production sharing agreements. Dollar-denominated settlement restored. Western control locked in. Stage 4 complete. Pattern verified. But the Arctic version is colder and slower. Greenland holds the world's second-largest reserves of rare earth oxides, not oil. The metals inside missiles, satellites, and stealth jets. Yet there are 0 active rare earth mines on the island. No grid, no roads, no ports capable of heavy lift. To mine here costs 150% to 300% more than Australia or Brazil, which means profit is not the reason. Control is. Europe is being pushed to subsidize loss-making mines, not to make money, but to buy safety. This is not industrial development. This is ransom economics. Stage 4 is being prepaid, before the ground is even broken. Stage 4 complete. Pattern verified. Everything on the news right now is ceremony. The real movement is paperwork. Within hours of Trump's Air Force One statement, security corridors were quietly reclassified. Defense committees in Brussels began repricing risk. Mineral task forces were reactivated, behind closed doors. J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio initiated a security for resources framework, not publicly, administratively. Denmark was offered partnership. Greenland was offered development. Europe was offered a bill for Arctic radar, a bill for ice-grade ports, a bill for power plants in 3 months of darkness. The pitch is simple. Europe funds the infrastructure. Washington receives mineral priority, 99-year access corridors, exclusive export windows, pre-cleared military usage zones. The narrative says de-escalation. The filings say ownership. Once these corridors are signed, no referendum can undo them. No election can reverse them. The ice becomes permanent leverage, and Europe becomes the guarantor of its own extraction. You are not watching diplomacy. You are watching foreclosure. Now it reaches your account. Not symbolically, numerically. European governments will subsidize Arctic mining, public funds, pension funds, green transition budgets. Billions redirected into loss-making mines, not to generate profit, but to buy protection. Your electricity bill carries the subsidy. Your tax statement carries the guarantee. Your retirement fund carries the exposure. When these mines fail to meet yield targets, they do not shut down, they are refinanced. With your money. Meanwhile, Washington receives priority access to neodymium and dysprosium. Defense contractors lock in supply. EV manufacturers secure future pricing. Your inflation does not fall. Your taxes rise. Your public debt expands. This is not a minerals deal. This is a security mortgage. Your country is collateral. You are not paying for metals. You are paying for silence. The pattern does not soften in the cold. It hardens. It does not negotiate. It does not reassure. It does not explain. It moves by sequence, pressure, repricing, extraction. New corridors are already being drawn across the Arctic. New security premiums are already being quoted. New development frameworks are already being drafted. The same banks, the same contractors, the same signatures, different ice, same ending. The pattern does not care if you believe in it. It does not need your permission. It just unfolds. Subscribe, so you are not the prey in the next stage.